Hello, dear heart, and welcome to this different take on depressive states. So, a lot of people think that being depressed, you're super sad, but depression doesn't always mean that you are sad. Some people don't feel sad at all when they are depressed. So they feel lifeless and apathetic, like they are living in a black hole. And women might be super low in estrogen and serotonin when they do experience things like depression. Might have a clogged up liver that needs cleansing, and it is genetic too, so to speak, right? So if your family members experience depression, then it's so likely that those programs are in your DNA pattern, and that can restructure framework references of the mind and beliefs. So if the belief is there, it's in your DNA, it has to have an external situation to activate that gene. So just so you know, epigenetics, it's not that you will have that, but it's very likely that you have a higher chance of getting that. Heavy metals is also a really big, so mercury equals depression. So if you have really high mercury levels in your body, it could also be that you might experience that. And if your adrenaline, your noradrenaline levels are not balanced, so your noradrenaline and your serotonin allows you to act in normal range of emotional states. So if they are out of balance, then you most likely will experience sessions of rage or depression, expression, repression that would not be balanced. Now, how do we normalize the chemicals in the brain? To center yourself in your heart, and also to go deeper down into earth. Okay, so from here, it's not to be stuck in the head the whole time. A lot of people get stuck in their fourth dimensional plane. And if you haven't watched the previous videos, please go back and watch your three-dimensional being, where I explain this. So don't be stuck in your head only. Get into your body. It's safe to feel. Normally, if you have experienced a lot of trauma and there's a lot of trauma stuck in your body itself, we tend to rather hang out with our awareness in our head, because logically it makes sense and we can analyze all of these things, and we don't see the body as a safe space. So we need to start sinking into the heart space, sinking into the body. So really important. And there's so many different ways. You don't have to take SSRIs, SNRIs, or any antidepressant. There's natural and normal things and plants that you can use to normalize your adrenaline and your serotonin level and all your other hormones levels in the best way appropriate at this time. So from that perspective, let's talk a little bit about what kind of beliefs are present in the mental programming realm for us to, for awareness to fall asleep as the identity form of depression, or I am depression. You're claiming and stating what you are, right? If you're saying I am depressed. So some belief work you can do is like muscle testing, body testing, test for these, and then find a way that you can change these. I'm not going to go into that for this video. I'm just giving you the beliefs you can check. So check for the fear of failure or the fear of success. I know how to live my day without being depressed. I know that the Creator, I know the Creator's view of joy. I know what it feels like to live without creating depression. So you can write all of these down and muscle test for them. I know what it feels like to live without being stuck inside of myself. I know what it feels like to help others. I know what it feels like to live from a higher perspective. I know what it feels like I know what it feels like without feeling hope, or I know what it feels like to live without feeling hopeless. I know what it feels like to create wonderful things in my life. I know how to enjoy my life. I know how to create wonderful thoughts. I know how to live without donating large parts of my day to depression. I know what it feels like to know that I can find joy in this moment. I know what it feels like to deal with any situation. I know what it feels like to draw the breath of life. I know what it feels like to live without the poor me attitude, victimization. I am a victim. You can also look for that. I know what it feels like to be cherished by God. I know what it feels like to have hope and understanding. I know what it feels like to cherish myself. I know what it feels like to love myself. I know it is possible to cherish myself. I know it is possible to love myself. I know the difference between my feelings and those of others. Empathy, right? I know how to live without taking on other people's sorrow and other people's sadness. The sadness of others is automatically changed to love. I know what it feels like without the whole world resting on my shoulders. I know what foods are best for me. I know it is safe to be awake and alive. I know it is safe to be intuitive. I know it is safe to be empathetic. I know it is safe to be myself fully. Every day, in every way, I feel stronger. Every day, in every way, I feel happier. Every day, in every way, I find solutions. Every day, in every way, I see the possibilities in life. So you can test for those. And some supplements that you can take is 𝗱𝗲 acid, which removes heavy metals in your body, calcium, magnesium, 5-HTP, omega-3, royal camo. You can be on an alkaline diet, a good B complex, St. John's wort, tryptophan, which is found in chocolate, eggs, pasta, and turkey. So there's just some supplements and some food choices that can support you through this too. When you do test for those beliefs, if you do not know how to body test, muscle test, or it's like kinesiology, like if you don't know how to do that, then please place it in the comments. If there's enough interest, maybe I make a video around that to just teach you how to test from your body. Because the body has an intuitive wisdom. It has a really, really ancient wisdom of showing truths within ourselves. Whether the belief is there on the program or not. And then from there, you can do something like theta healing or psyche or rapid eye movement. There's so many different ways, or energy codes. There are so many different ways that you can start changing the belief patterns in yourself, and through that. So recognize this. that our beliefs is like, it's a light grid. And that light grid is what we sink into. A lot of people call this the matrix too, right? You sink into that and that shapes your experience. And when you sink into that and it shapes your experience, it's like the lenses you look through. So you're looking through the lenses of, if I have a belief, for example, of I'm not good enough, and I put on the lenses of not being good enough, what will I see? I will only ever see reasons for me not to be good enough. I will see that in the way that people treat me. I will see that in the situations that come up. I will see that in my paycheck. I will see that in my friendships. I will see that in the relationship. I will see that everywhere. Now, let me take it one step down and saying, like, if I'm putting on green lenses, there is nothing that I will see that will not be green. So that's what I mean. Your belief systems and your belief patterns that is installed, and you're agreeing to believe them and keep them there, that structure there becomes your lenses that you look through. And that shapes your experience itself. So within that experience itself, you will only ever see your belief systems. You will not see anything outside of that. So once you start changing your belief systems, it's really from a direct experience. I've been working with my belief systems for over 10 years now. On a daily basis, there's always something more. There's always beliefs feeding and bleeding into each other. You're building your foundation, you're building your house. If you're taking out one belief, which can be seen as one building block out of the house, then you have to fill it in with something that is going to support that. And it's not as rigid as this is one block, this is one block. They all are like a liquid flowing, breathing into each other. So when we're changing beliefs, it's really interesting to also notice how other belief systems have leaned on that. Social support, like this, is also where cognitive dissonance comes in. We don't want to change the beliefs because we're going to lose some friends and we're going to lose social support, and we are about connection. Later on in this videos, I will share with you how depression isn't really about the chemical imbalance in your brain, but it's about losing connections. Losing connections to things that you are intrinsically so connected with, on a social level, on a relationship level, on a work level, on basic needs level. Like there's connections that's lost, and that all of those connections being lost and being out of place depresses our experience into something that feels so tight, so small, so apathetic. So I hope that this has helped you and is of service. Again, I'm here to be of service to you, so thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, this just helps me. It helps me to know that those of you watching that really resonate with this, I know how tough it can be. I know how tough it can be to fall asleep as depression. I know. And I'm here to be of service. You do not have to go through this alone. All my love.